Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we've got another Gun Gripe episode for you, and we got some questions. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. And Lucy, we mean NRA, you got some splaining to do. I mean, look, guys, I don't know how many... I don't know how more plainly we can speak about this. I mean, we've been putting out videos about this. We've been mentioning it. You guys know that the comment period on bump stocks recently closed, and we're not going to know anything until after midterms. And
convenient.
No, that's very convenient. Yeah. There's some shady stuff that's been going on, and guys, I don't know how harder we can hit on this, but we're going to talk about it a little more. And plus, you know, I really want the NRA to be accountable. We're really tired of people throwing us under the bus over all this stuff, and I think it's just lack of understanding. And I just don't get it. I mean, guys, we've been critical on the NRA. I don't understand any other way that we can put this out more plainly. I support Tim, what he's trying to do. I support GOA, what they're trying to do. And we're ticked at the NRA just like a lot of people are. I want that to be made very, very clear. We do not support their decision to have the ATF go back to bat on bump stocks. We don't support any of the other shady crap they've done in the past. You know, they're why we have the Hughes Amendment. They're why we have NICS. I mean, of course we don't support that. It's just very, very treacherous overall.
Just a little bit. If you guys have been, you know, kind of living on a rock and whatnot, and you haven't really been paying attention to what's going on, Ammo Land recently put out a very interesting article regarding some of the past history of the NRA that goes back to like 1997 when there was a staged coup as Marion Hammer, one of our favorite NRA board members. She loves to do things that we just enjoy, don't we? Yeah, we love Marion Hammer. Yeah, not. But anyways,
she needs to get the hammer and get out of here.
In history, the victors, well, throughout history, the victors write history. Okay, so there was this basically a mutiny within the board trying to get some accountability with a big PR firm, Ackerman McQueen, who was basically sucking millions of dollars out of the organization for a number of years.
And still does.
And still does, you know, technically under a different brand name, basically. And you can go and read the entire article. It's a very interesting read, and I would encourage, you know, all the voting members out there, the ballots are out now, okay? So the ballots are out, and you only need to select one person on it. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's Adam Kraut. And that's all you need to do. One vote. That's it. You want to get some new leadership on the board, somebody who agrees more and aligns with kind of what the younger generation of shooters out there and just freedom-loving individuals like ourselves and a lot of you guys watching. You know, we'll talk a little bit more about it, like I said, in the later part of the video. But, I mean, I cannot encourage people more. If you want to change the organization, don't just throw your memberships out the window, because that's how you become a voting member. Vote. Change it. You know, do something.
Especially people that are on the fence. Like people that are still NRA members, which I'm a lifetime member, and I lifed up so I could vote, and I haven't even gotten my card or my ballot. So what does that tell you? Dude. A lot of people have gone, you know what? You're right. Dang it. Screw this. I'm going to vote these people out.
I can't tell you.
But then they don't get their ballots in the mail.
I can't tell you how many folks that I've heard from and I've read comments about, like on some of the forums and things like that regarding this, but before the ballots went out, there were a lot of people lifing up because they wanted to vote, you know.
People are sick of this crap.
And they're having trouble getting through, like through NRA customer service and getting their ballots. There's always some sort of problem. Oh, well, it's in the mail. I'm sorry, we don't have any control over that. Conspiracy much? I mean, Marion Hammer went out on a limb to say that she's trying to fight the enemies within the organization and all this bullcrap in another article that we'll post below, but who she's really talking about is people like Adam Kraut. That's who she's talking about. She doesn't want somebody like him in the board to change the way they've been doing things for years.
Because he's going to question the bullcrap that they're doing.
Oh, and it's a lot of bullcrap.
And the thing is, the board is full of yes men and yes women. That's all it is. And it's really plainly known information that they've always wanted the board to be comprised of people that are just going to go, yeah, whatever. Long as my paycheck's good, I don't give a crap. You know, they want yes men, they want establishment, just go with the flow type people. They don't want anybody that's going to go, well, wait a second, no. You know, they don't want anybody that's going to question how they're doing things. And that's what the organization needs. I mean, really. I'm going to say that's what the people need. I mean, if folks are going to look to the NRA as a group of people that is going to fight for your rights, then they need to be held accountable. They need to fight for your rights. But, taking $5 million salaries and, spending millions and millions of dollars to produce all of this stuff. And look, I'll make a very quick and just straightforward statement about this. And I know that with this Ackerman McQueen business and with this NRA TV and all of these media outlets that get thrown out there and all this money, millions and millions of dollars they spend to produce all this bulk content.
It's marketing.
Well, look, it is.
It's marketing.
It's a marketing firm that literally produces it. But the thing that I will say about this is I know Colo Noor personally, and I think that he's a very good guy. Okay? He is a good guy. He's a very smart guy. And I miss the days of gun rants, of him just putting it out there, just being himself. That's the guy I want back. That's what YouTube needs, is Colo Noor being Colo Noor. We don't need he does not need the NRA to be an upstanding, awesome badass. And I'll just leave it at that. I think he's a good guy. He's a very intelligent individual. And I hate that his name has been thrown in the mud over this. I really do. But I will maintain that I think he's a good guy. I think Pete Brownell's a good guy. I've had numerous discussions with Pete, and he's a good man. He runs a great business. He's got a good company. He treats his employees with dignity and respect, and I've seen it firsthand. And I know a lot of the employees at Brownell's, and they love that man. They worship the ground he walks on, and for good reason. He's a good guy. He's a dang good guy. And a lot of people think that the president of the NRA has all this power and they can do all this, but maybe not so much that you would think. And the board has a lot of power. We have to change. If you truly want to change the NRA, it has to be done from within, and we have to hold them accountable. And that's only going to come through you guys voting their butts out of here.
Oh, but Eric, we're still healing for the NRA, though. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I don't understand how that could ever be perpetuated. We have never, ever once taken a single dime from the NRA. We were refused. We met with the NRA at annual meeting in Atlanta, and there was interest on their part expressed in wanting to work with us in various ways, whether it was recruiting or whether it was putting out certain bits of content or whatever. I mean, the interest was expressed, but it was quickly denied because I made it quite clear to them that I was not willing to accept a single dime to fight for the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is not for sale. Never has been. Not for us, not for anybody. My dogs agree. But the thing is, at the end of the day, see, Lily agrees.
They're mad. They're fired up.
They're mad. But at the end of the day, it's not for sale. Okay? My integrity, my honor is not for sale, and it never has been. Mm-mm. So I don't know any other way to put it more plainly to you guys. I mean, we're sick of the NRA and their shenanigans. We support Tim, GOA. We support you guys. We get it. I think the GOA has some potential. Now, I still demand accountability. I've had a couple of talks with Eric Pratt. Okay? He pays himself a modest salary. He's a school teacher. He lives close to Washington, so he can go to bat on certain things, to talk to people.
I mean, he doesn't have to take a private jet there?
He does. Well, I don't know.
Like Charlton Heston?
But my initial discussions with Eric Pratt is that he's a very humble guy and very straightforward, and he just wants to see what's best for the Second Amendment. And I hope that if there is some void that is left by the NRA, which there is, obviously there is, because bull crap's happening under their watch, right? But if a void does exist, and if it is there, then it is my hope and my thoughts that the GOA will do a very deliberate effort to fill it. But don't take that as an endorsement, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, what I endorse is you. The person watching this video, you're who I endorse. You're who I put my faith in. Because at the end of the day, NRA or GOA or whatever message they want to put out, what are they going to do? They're going to go to a guy like me and they're going to go, hey, this is what's going on. Let's get a video out. Well, who do you think is going to do it? It's going to be me. It's going to be guys like Tim. Hello, we are that voice, and that's not for sale. Plainly, it's not for sale. I mean, we would never put a price on putting the word out to support the positive messages of the Second Amendment and to support when our rights are under attack.
Yep. I mean, Eric mentioned, when Pete became the president of the NRA and everything, we all had high hopes that the organization was going to be changing because that's what we were all promised. And Tim has been a staunch opponent of the NRA for a long time, and Tim lifed up at the annual meeting because Pete, was involved with it and he promised change. Well,
that's the only reason we even had to talk.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, sure, it was cool meeting Chris Cox, meeting Wayne LaPierre. It was like, oh man, wow, they're actually real people. Yakety yak. Okay, yeah, cool. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know my NRA history like I probably should have. But there's a lot of people out there who don't know, and I encourage you to read up on some of the things that happened in 1977 and some of the things that happened in 1997. And Eric mentioned earlier that the board has a lot of power, and the board the board basically set up the write-in for Charlton Heston to become more or less the next president of the NRA against Neil Knox, who was trying to fight the board and get them accountable for all the shenanigans that have been going on. And the board basically just said, nope, we're not going to have this. We're going to set this up, and here, oh, sorry, you lost by 4 votes. So they basically just shut it down, Look, but I feel betrayed.
I
really do.
I do too. I feel betrayed as well, because the thing is, at the end of the day, the rights are not for sale. They're not for sale. They're yours. They belong to you right now. They're yours. They're not for sale. That's the bottom line. And the thing is, at the end of the day, I understand that firearms are a very politicized thing. A lot of people, just don't understand. I think a lot of it comes down to just a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge, ignorance. It really is just ignorance in a lot of cases. And, the honest gun-owning people of this country are some of the most salt of the earth, wonderful people I've ever had the privilege of meeting. They're great people. They're intelligent. They're awesome. Most of them are intelligent. But
except me.
Some of them aren't. But at the end of the day, it's that grassroots effort that gets things done. It's not, the NRA going, call your reps and do this and that. Well, look, who do you think's already called the reps to talk to them? Think about that for a second. Do you think that they can't pick up the phone and go, hey, this is what we want you to do? Or do you think they can't, and they can say it doesn't happen, but it does. You think that they can't pick up the phone and go, here's 100 G's. This is what I want you to do. You mean with all that millions of dollars that they're getting in, all those millions of bucks that they spend and get in, all those dues, that some of those millions of dollars can't, lobby? I mean, that's what lobbying is. Lobbying is literally like extortion. I mean, they call it... They call it, look, they call it lobbying. They call it lobbying, but at the end of the day, it's a guy with a briefcase going over and going, so you're going to vote yay, right? Huh? You're going to vote yay, right?
That would be a bribe.
Well, look, I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, those lobbying dollars go towards something, and if they're buying people off, and look, it's legal, okay? I'm not suggesting that they do or have done anything illegal, but what I'm saying is, if you contribute money to a campaign fund, guess what? You're buying a promise, okay? If you're a high-level campaign contributor, say that I contribute to the campaign of a future governor of a state, all right? I go and I say, I'm not going to name a specific name, but let's just say Mr. Smith, whatever. Okay, so Mr. Smith, how do you feel about concealed carry in this state? We see that we have some difficulty getting concealed carry passed, or open carry, constitutional carry, whatever it may be, whatever the issue at hand may be. Well, hey, just to let you know, company blah 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 supports you in your efforts, and we'd like to see you, vote yay. Here's $1 million. Here's $500,000 to help your campaign, to go out and campaign to get elected, to buy your ads, to buy your billboards, to pay people to go out with the little trucks. I mean, all that crap costs money. And when you're paying to campaign, that is what you're paying for. You have to have a lot of money to campaign. Well, then what happens in the process? All right, do you think for 1 second that company gives that political candidate money to campaign and they don't want anything in return, do you really think that it's out of the goodness of their heart and that there's not anything at all to be gained in return? Do you really, really think that? No. Those politicians are then going to be bought by the people that helped campaign. So, that $500,000, that $1 million that company invested in that political contribution then turns into a political strong arm that they can then go to that person and go, well, remember that $1 million we gave you? Well, we kind of like to see this happen. Like, we need to, sort of, let's get some stuff done here. That's how it works.
Buying favorites.
So, well, I mean, at the end of the day, people can agree with me or not agree with me, but that's just the politics of the world. That's how it works. People get bought off at those levels when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's why people in politics want to stay in power, because with the power comes the fact that with the power they have also comes the, hey, buddy, let's get some stuff done. Hey, want to go have lunch? It's all this buddy-buddy bullcrap. So if the NRA is so buddy-buddy with all the politicians, then why do we have crap like the stock ban even being talked about? If we have a majority in the House, the Senate, and the President's a Republican and supports guns, then why is this even a thing if for no other reason than to be a political bargaining chip that's going to be used against us?
You'd think that we were back in the Obama days, with all this crap going on, all this junk we're talking about, but one of the main things I'm so pissed off about the NRA about is, with the whole statement. If I'm
wrong, tell me.
Yeah, with the whole statement, about bump stocks that came out after the shooting in Vegas, by Wayne and Chris, we lost share. Share got canned. And, there ain't no telling when or if it'll ever come back.
And how do we know that momentum wasn't lost on purpose because they didn't want it to go anywhere in the first place?
Who knows? There's no telling what sort of conspiracies might be alive in the organization. I mean, the more and more that I read about things that happened in the past, the more and more I'm like, holy crap, this is insane. Yeah. This has to change. But share's dead. National reciprocity, yeah, they're pushing for that big time, okay? I mean, they were pushing for a bill that Schumer and everybody else wanted the Knicks fix crap. And yeah, that doesn't really sound good. Why are you guys pushing this? That's really stupid. We made a video about that.
I know.
Tim made a video about it.
We made a video about the bump stock thing twice. We made a video about, the fix Knicks thing, I think twice. I mean, guys, come on. We've been here the whole time. I don't understand how it can be taken any other way.
All this crap is rolled downhill from that initial statement. And now we're sitting on the end of the comment period, and there's no telling what's going to happen.
Nothing's getting done.
Yeah, well,
nothing good.
Yeah, well, they didn't go through a regular legislative process. That's what pisses me off the most. They didn't let the people decide, about this. All right, do we want to ban these things? No, we're just going to have the ATF taking a look at it. Let's just put it off to the side so we can keep all of our candidates,
clean.
Safe and clean for midterms to make sure they get back in, so we can have NRA approved A-rated candidates, blah, blah, blah.
Don't even get me started on Rand Paul. Paul.
Oh, God.
Come on, man. Rand Paul. Rand Paul is a model American, a wonderful man, a wonderful man. His father, a wonderful man. Ron Paul is an awesome, awesome, awesome guy. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now. And Rand is a good dude. How in the world would anybody not think for 1 second that he's the man for the Second Amendment? That is absurd. I cannot believe that. Rand Paul is a good dude.
Well, he's not,
and he's a black rifle guy. Man, he loves ARs and suppressors. And
he's probably been pissed at the NRA from time to time. He's probably a member of GOA.
Here's what makes me the most mad about some of the stuff that Chad said there. Not that you said it, but that it happened. I should clarify that. But the thing is that we worked. It's us, people like us, Tim, other people. Military Arms Channel, all those guys. We put the word out there. And we got you guys to really push forward, get them to really, to really bend their arms over when it comes to, the national carry stuff, the SHARE Act. Like, we really had momentum going. Like, we got it out of committee. It was going to move forward. Everything was looking good. Squashed. One statement.
Bye.
One statement. Squashed. But I'd be willing to bet it was more than just a statement. Just going to say that.
Unfortunately, probably.
Yeah, probably some crooked backdoor dealings. I mean,
look, I'll say one more thing, kind of related to one of my first statements here about voting. Okay, you know, in the past several videos, you know, we've tried to kind of keep a middle ground. It's like, okay, well, we don't want to throw away the biggest, you know, bargaining chip that we have as far as Second Amendment rights go. But the more and more that we go forward and see what the NRA is doing, the more and more I think, well, they're really sucking at their jobs right now. But the thing is, all the people that jump ship. Okay, so you were on year 4 of an annual membership. Okay, you were a good little boy or girl, and you renewed each year, and you got your 5th consecutive year. Okay. Well, you decided, okay, well, I'm just not going to do that. Bye. All right, I'm out of here because I'm pissed off. Well, guess what? You just lost your voting privilege with the organization. You have to be a 5-year consecutive member or a life member. And like I said earlier, you know, people who are lifing up to get their ballot to vote are having trouble getting the ballots because they don't want you to vote.
You better believe they're going to take that money and give it to Ackerman McQueen, though.
And look,
and then Ackerman McQueen is going to take the credit for what. Yeah. All the real activists are doing.
You've got people on the board who are fighting tooth and nail to keep Adam Kraut off of the board. That should be a clear sign that we need him on the board.
That should tell you something.
The folks of you out there who are voting members, okay, I know there's probably not a ton of you because there's 5 million members of the NRA. There's about 3,000 people that vote, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. That few people control basically the board, and then the board controls the organization and the direction thereof.
Me and my wife both are supposed to be voting members, and I haven't received my card, I haven't received my ballot. So what does that tell you? They don't want me voting because they know who the heck I'm going to vote for.
Now look,
I'll tell you right now, it's Adam damn Kraut.
The folks of you that do vote, when you get your ballot, it's confusing. It's like, oh, I can vote for 25 of these people? Don't. You don't know them people. Bullet vote for Adam, because the way it works is if the 25 candidates with the most votes get on the board, 25 seats are up for re-election each year. It just goes through a process. Whoever's had a 3-year tenure comes up for re-election, I believe is how it works. But the folks that get the most votes get on the board. If you vote for 2 or 3 people, then, well, maybe one of those other 2 people got more votes because other people just, you know, voted for the entire ballot.
Yeah, or recognize the name and went, oh, well, whatever.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Vote for one person, vote for Adam Kraut, and let's get this frickin' ship started turning and changing like we were promised forever ago. I'm not going to believe it until I see it, but the thing is, if you jump ship, it's just going to keep on, you know, being the way it is. And there ain't no telling what the NRA might do down the line. I mean, like Eric said, they're the reason we have the Hughes Amendment. Go back and read about that. They're the reason we have NICS. Go back and read about that. They're the reason we have the 1934 NFA, the National Firearms Act. They're the reason we have the 68 Gun Control Act. They're the reason that we have all these things that we complain about nowadays.
It's a business of taking your rights away and then trying to sell them back to you.
Exactly.
And that's crooked, guys.
But I'm done.
I know.
I'm out of here.
I don't understand how it can be taken any other way, guys. I mean, look, we care deeply about all of you. If you're an American, well, even if you're not, you know, we have a lot of overseas viewers. I get that. We care about y'all too. Y'all are great. Thank you very much. But we care deeply about our rights, and we cannot allow them to be eroded. We just can't. Look, guys, I really appreciate you watching today's video. I know that there's some hard truths in this video. Like, we went into some deep territory, and we try not to go out on that tangent that often, but sometimes it's just necessary. Sometimes people need to hear what's on your mind. They need to hear what you're thinking, and this is what we're thinking.
Truth hurts sometimes.
I hope that you guys can just understand that we care, and that's why we're making this video. And, you know, we definitely want to thank... I want to thank Tim, because I think that he's done a great job of just really exposing this stuff. And Tim and I are very close friends. I've known him a good while. He's been in my house before. He's broke bread with my family. I mean, he's stayed in my house before. We filmed together. He's been in videos with me. We've had dinner in various places. I mean, we are friends. We talk all the time. And if there's one person that I trust, it's him. And if he trusts the GOA, I do too. And I've had, like I said, conversations with Eric Pratt, and I think he's a good guy, and I think he's trying to do the honorable thing. But just like with the NRA, we're going to hold them to that. We're going to hold them to that standard. We're going to make sure that we work together to do what we need to do to promote and support the Second Amendment. We're not telling you go join GOA. I don't make a single dime. I don't want a single dime. I donate money to the GOA every month. I think it's like a $20 monthly donation that I give. I know it's not a lot of money, but it helps. Every little bit helps. And guys, for those of you that watch these videos that have supported us through things like Patreon and ManCans, we graciously thank you, because it allows us to keep this content going and to keep it just crystal clear and open. I'm making these videos for you. I'm making videos for the people that support us and that appreciate what we do, and that means a lot. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, consider donating $1 on Patreon. I mean, $1, even $1 helps. You know, your support is graciously needed and definitely needed right now. I mean, we've been in some pretty rough territory, and it definitely helps. And guys, if you want to buy a t-shirt, go over to Forge Freedom, pick you up a cool t-shirt if you want, or go over and purchase a ManCan. Guys, those funds, guess what? When we make money off that stuff, you know what we do? We turn right back around. It goes right back into the channel. So we literally spend every dollar we make to promote your rights and to help you and to be there. We're here for you. If you see something that's bad, you let us know, and guess what? Make a video. Simple. Very, very, very easy. Well, he will.
Yeah, well.
I'll stand here, and he'll run the camera, and then he'll go home and edit it, and I'll go upstairs and drink sweet tea, and that's going to be the end of the day.
Yeah, but that brings up a point I wanted to make real quick. You know, regarding like accountability and such. You know, when people like us and like people like Tim and all, when we hold these folks' feet to the fire over crap that they've been perpetuating. Now I'm getting like you. I can't talk. Can't get my thoughts together. But you know, we don't have editors hanging over our heads. We're not gun writers. We're not magazine writers. We don't have editors that are controlling our content. Once we finish a piece, if we had an opinion about a specific topic, whatever it is, something going on in politics, a particular firearm, a head-to-head thing.
What we like, what we don't like.
Once that article goes to the editor, it's out of the writer's hands. He has no more control over it. And then the editor can be bought and paid for by some of his maybe better contributors, you know, better advertisers who spend, say, tens of thousands of dollars with him. And he might just edit whatever it is that was said that said company didn't like. That's the kind of crap that goes on in the print industry. That is not the kind of stuff that you're going to see here or with Tim. We give it to you as straight as can be. And the folks that out there that don't think so, I mean, I'm sorry, there's just no help.
Simply mistaken. Look, guys, we really appreciate your support. We appreciate you watching.
Oh, and they hate us for it too.
Huh?
They hate us for it too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you
God.
mean just like certain aspects of the industry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some aspects of the industry they really hate us for it. A
lot of the bloggers hate us. A lot of the writers hate us. But you know what? It's okay. Look, at the end of the day, guys, we're here for you. That's just the bottom line. Take it or leave it, like it or love it. But I'm going to keep doing this because I feel it's important to the Second Amendment community and it's important to you. And we're here for you. Just know that. Guys, thank you for watching today's video. We appreciate it. We will see you next time. We've got a lot of content on the way, lots of random stuff we're doing, more 5 guns, more facts, more meltdowns, and we have a guitar channel now. I'd like to just give a quick shameless plug for my guitar channel, if I may.
Shameless plug.
It's called Guitarsenal. And we do everything from like amps, you know, effects pedals, guitars, and basic reviews, lessons. So it is a guitar playing channel, not shooting guitars. Let's make that clear. So if you guys go over and check that out, we post every Monday and every Friday. We would love to have you. We're music nuts, both of us, and we post 2 times a week for now. We'll see how it goes. Maybe if we get enough, well, like what will probably end up happening, if we get enough support, like maybe on Patreon where I can hire him another editor, we might put out more content. But right now, all the content you see, this guy right here does all of it.
Bye.
Guitarsenal, I Write Veteran. Anytime we put, well, we don't really do much Real Men stuff anymore, but I'm rambling. I need to stop and end the video because these people have to get on with their day. But he does all the editing, and it is a lot of work and a lot of time, and it is a lot of effort on our part. So if you enjoy it, we graciously appreciate it. We like that y'all like it, and that makes us feel good. So guys, thank you for watching today's video. We'll see you next time. Lots more on the way.
You got an SKS I can borrow? I'm gonna go try my rate increasing device like Tim.
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome.
Later.